Hey guys, today I want to talk about something very important: how to learn English. Learning English can be fun and even easy if we do it the right way. So, I'm going to share some tips with you. But first, let me tell you a story. When I was younger, I didn't know any English, and that made me very scared. But then I started hearing stories in English every day. Little by little, I began to understand the words, and they began to become clearer. The fear went away, and I learned that listening is super important. When you listen, you learn new words, discover how to pronounce them, and most importantly, how to use them correctly. So listen to English every day. It can be listening to stories, music, or even the news. This helps a lot with learning. Now, let's talk about practice. They say practice makes perfect, and that's true. When I was learning, I practiced every day. He spoke English, even though he made mistakes. And you know what? Mistakes are super normal and help us learn. So, don't be afraid. Speak English every day. Another valuable tip is reading. Reading is an excellent way to learn. You can start with simple books, and picture books are perfect. They help you understand the story, and as you read, you learn new words and how to use them. In addition to learning new words, reading also teaches you how to use them in sentences. I remember once reading a story about a cat that was lost. It was a very simple story, but I loved it. I learned several new words from her. The more I read, the better my English became. So read as much as you can. This makes a huge difference. Another essential tip is to write. Writing is just as important as listening or reading because it helps you use words you already know and form sentences. Start with simple things. Write about your day, your family, or anything you enjoy. The important thing is to start. The more you write, the better you get. When I was learning, I did exactly that, and over time, I noticed how much my writing had improved. When I was learning, I had a small notebook where I wrote every day. I wrote about my school, my friends, and even my dreams. I made a lot of mistakes, but I learned from each one of them. Writing helped me a lot because it gave me more confidence in my English. Another super fun tip is to watch videos in English. You can watch cartoons, movies, or even TV shows. It's really fun. As you watch, you learn how people talk, discover how to pronounce words correctly, and even expand your vocabulary. I remember when I watched a cartoon about a very funny dog. I laughed a lot, but I also learned several new words from that drawing. Watching cartoons helped me understand English much better, so watch as many videos as you can. They are extremely useful to learn and practice. Plus, talking to other people is a great way to improve. If you have friends who speak English, talk to them, practice whenever possible, and if you don't have it, no problem. Nowadays, it's easy to find people online who are also learning English and want to practice. You can help each other. I, for example, had a friend who spoke English very well. We talked every day. Sometimes I made mistakes, but she always helped me and corrected me. These conversations were incredible for my learning. This is how I gained confidence and improved my English even further. Learning new words and how to use them is something I learned a lot from talking to other people. So find someone to practice with. It could be a friend, a teacher, or even someone you meet online. This exchange will help a lot with your progress. Another important point is to be patient. Learning a new language takes time, and it doesn't happen overnight. Be kind to yourself and, above all, don't give up. Keep trying, even when it seems difficult. I remember moments when I was sad because I couldn't understand something, but I never gave up. I continued, step by step, and little by little I improved, learning more and more. So, remember, patience is essential. Every little step you take is important, and over time, you will get there. Now, speaking of practical tips, let's talk about how to use a dictionary intelligently. A dictionary is your best friend when it comes to learning English. It helps you understand new words. Whenever you come across a word you don't know, Look up the meaning, learn how to pronounce it, and then try using it in a sentence. I used to carry a small dictionary with me. Every time I heard a new word, I would look for it and then try to use it. It helped me learn a lot of new words. So, always have a dictionary nearby. It will make your learning much easier. Another amazing tip is to play games in English. Games are fun and teach you without you realizing you are studying. There are many games that help you learn new words and improve your comprehension skills. Furthermore, playing games is a light and enjoyable way to study, making the process much more interesting. There are many games that can help you learn English. You can play word games, solve puzzles, or even participate in quizzes. When I was learning, I used to play a word game with my friends. The idea was to find as many words as possible, and whoever found the most words won. It was super fun, and at the same time I learned a lot of new words from this game. So, play in English. It's a light and fun way to learn. Another interesting tip is to try to think in English. It may seem difficult at first, but it is a very useful practice. When you think in English, you are training your skills, learning to use words you already know, and creating sentences in your head. This practice makes a big difference in your learning and makes you more confident in using the language on a daily basis. At first, thinking in English can seem like a challenge, and it was like that for me too. When I was learning, I had to translate everything in my head, and that took time. But with time and practice, this became easier. Suddenly, I started thinking in English naturally, without even realizing it. So, try to incorporate this habit into your daily life. Thinking in English will greatly improve your fluency. Another important tip is to set goals. Having clear goals helps you stay focused and gives you something to work towards. Start with small, achievable goals, like learning 5 new words a day or reading a page of a book daily. Each time you achieve one of these goals, you will feel an incredible sense of accomplishment. And this motivation will push you to keep learning more and more. When I was learning English, I set small goals to motivate myself. My first goal was to learn 10 new words per week. Then I decided I wanted to read an entire book in English. Every time I achieved one of these goals, I felt enormous joy because it showed me that I was making progress. So create your own goals. They will help you stay focused and move forward. Another valuable tip is to review what you learn. When you review, you fix the content better in your memory. Take a look at your notes, reread your old texts, or listen to the same story again. The more you review, the more you will remember what you learned. I used to review my notes every week. I read what I had written and, in doing so, strengthened my learning. Reviewing is an essential step in the learning process, so don't skip this part. Reviewing what you learned is essential. I read my notes over and over again, and it helped me remember what I had studied. Plus, reviewing allowed me to see how much I had improved. So, take the time to review. It may seem simple, but it makes a huge difference in your learning. Another very important thing is to maintain a positive attitude. Learning a new language can be challenging, but if you stay positive, everything becomes easier. Believe in yourself, because you can do it. When discouragement hits, remember why you started. Focus on your goal. I also had moments when I wanted to give up, but I chose to continue. I told myself I could do it, and I did. This positive mindset helped me a lot. So, never underestimate the power of believing in yourself. That makes all the difference. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They are part of the learning process. Everyone makes mistakes, and that's normal. When you make a mistake, don't feel bad. Use this as an opportunity to learn and improve. I myself made many mistakes while learning English, but I never let them stop me. On the contrary, I learned from each of them and continued to progress. Remember, mistakes are your best teachers. Finally, enjoy the journey. Learning English is a path full of discoveries and new experiences. Enjoy this process and have fun with it. The more you enjoy learning, the easier it will become. Turn every challenge into an opportunity and celebrate every small achievement. After all, learning is not just about the destination, but also about the journey. Have fun and enjoy every moment. When I was learning English, I enjoyed every step of the process. I loved discovering new words and understanding different stories. This attitude of enjoying the journey made learning more fun and, without realizing it, I learned faster. So, enjoy your journey. This will make learning much easier and more enjoyable. An important tip is to surround yourself with English on a daily basis. This means exposing yourself to the language as much as possible. Listen to music in English, watch movies, read signs in English. The more you hear and see the language, the more naturally it will be part of your learning. I remember well when I started learning. Being surrounded by English helped me a lot, and I'm sure it can help you too. One of the things I did to improve my English was to change the language on my cell phone to English. At first, it was difficult to understand everything, but I soon got used to it. Every time I used the phone, I learned something new. Therefore, surround yourself with English in everything you can. This constant exposure helps you learn faster and more naturally. Another valuable tip is to repeat. Repetition is essential when learning a new language. When you repeat something, it sticks better in your memory. Don't be afraid to review the same words or phrases multiple times. I used to repeat words out loud every day, saying them until they became natural to me. Repetition may seem simple, but it makes all the difference in your learning. Repeating was something that helped me a lot while learning English. This not only reinforced what I learned, but also made me more confident. Therefore, always review and repeat everything you learn. You can be sure it makes a big difference in your progress. Sometimes learning can seem a little monotonous, but you can turn it into something fun. How about singing songs in English? In addition to helping you memorize words, singing is a lot of fun. Another idea is to create small stories with the words you already know. This makes learning feel like a game. I used to sing English songs every morning. This made me more excited and ready to learn even more. Sometimes I made up funny stories with the new words I learned, and that made everything lighter and more fun. Make learning a pleasant moment. Making learning fun is a great way to stay motivated. Find ways to make studying lighter and more enjoyable. Another important tip is to use what you learn immediately. Once you learn a new word, try using it in a sentence, either when speaking or writing. The more you use it, the easier it will be to remember. I remember when I learned the word beautiful, I started using it to describe everything. The sky was beautiful, the flowers were beautiful, and even my breakfast was beautiful. Using the word helped me memorize it. Therefore, always put into practice what you learn. It really makes a difference. Another important thing, don't be in a rush. Learning English is not a race. It's perfectly okay to take things slow and take breaks when you need them. The most important thing is to keep going, even if you only learn one word a day. Every small achievement counts. When I was learning, I sometimes felt frustrated that my progress was too slow. But over time, I realized that each new word was a step forward. So, go at your pace and enjoy the process. Finally, keeping a diary in English can be very useful. Write about your day, your thoughts, or even your dreams. This helps you practice the language daily and consolidate what you have learned. Plus, it's a great way to track your progress over time. Keeping a diary in English is an incredible experience. Not only does it help to practice, it's a lot of fun to look back and realize how much you've improved. When I first started writing in my diary, I could only form short sentences. But over time, my sentences got longer and my writing got much better. It was rewarding to see the progress I was making. So, how about starting your diary? It's a practical and motivating way to learn. Another essential tip is to ask questions. Whenever you don't understand something, ask. Questioning is one of the best ways to learn because it shows that you are curious and willing to evolve. Don't be shy. There are no stupid questions when it comes to learning. I asked a lot of questions when I was learning, and that was fundamental to my progress. Asking questions is an important step to expanding your knowledge and reinforcing what you have already learned. I used to ask a lot of questions, both to my teachers and my friends, and even to myself. Asking questions helped me better understand what I was learning. So, whenever you are in doubt, ask. This practice will help you learn faster and more safely. It's normal to feel tired or frustrated sometimes, and it's okay if that happens. When you are exhausted, take time to rest, relax, do something fun, and then return to learning with renewed energy. I remember times when I felt unmotivated, but after taking a break, I was ready to continue. Taking breaks is essential to avoid fatigue and keep learning efficient and enjoyable. Don't be afraid to take a break when you need it. Don't forget to rest. This is essential to keep your mind fresh and ready to learn more. But in addition to resting, it is equally important to celebrate your achievements. Every time you reach a goal, celebrate. Did you learn a new word? Celebrate. Have you finished reading a book in English? Celebrate too. Celebrating progress is a powerful way to stay motivated. I always found ways to reward myself when I reached my goals. Sometimes he would give me a piece of cake, and other times he would watch my favorite movie. These little celebrations made learning more fun and gave me something to look forward to. So, be sure to celebrate every step you take. This will keep you excited and engaged with your learning. After all, every achievement deserves to be valued. Trying to learn in a group or with friends can make a big difference. Studying with other people is very useful because you can help each other and share tips and ideas. Plus, learning together is a lot more fun. I had a friend who was also learning English, and we studied together every week. We helped each other and practiced speaking. Learning from him made the process much easier and lighter. So, find someone to study with. This will make the journey more enjoyable and motivating. Another important tip is to listen to yourself. When you speak or read aloud, pay attention to how you sound. This helps you improve your pronunciation and understand where you can adjust. Listening to yourself is an excellent way to correct yourself and become more confident when speaking English. Practice often, and you will notice the difference. Listening to yourself is an amazing way to improve your pronunciation. You can also record yourself reading something out loud, and then listen to the recording. This makes it easier to identify errors and correct them. At first, I found it strange to hear my own voice, but it helped me a lot. Over time, I learned to pronounce words more clearly and confidently. So, try it. It's a simple but very effective technique. Another important thing, don't compare yourself to others. Each person has their own learning pace. Some learn faster, others slower, and that's okay. The important thing is to focus on your progress and celebrate your achievements. I used to compare myself to other people, and sometimes I thought they were learning faster, but then I realized that my journey is unique. What matters is that I was moving forward, and that was enough. So remember, focus on yourself and your progress. Finally, be creative in your learning. Use your imagination to make everything more fun. You can draw pictures to associate words or even write poems or songs. Creativity not only makes the process easier, it also helps you memorize better. I loved drawing pictures of the words I learned. This made learning fun and stimulating. Be creative and enjoy this journey. Being creative is a great way to make learning more fun and efficient. I, for example, loved writing little poems using the new words I learned. This not only helped me remember them, but also made the process much more enjoyable. So, unleash your imagination. Get creative and see how this can transform learning into something colorful and full of life. Another important thing is to stay organized. When you are organized, it becomes much easier to learn. Keep all your notes in one place. Make lists of the words you want to learn, and create a study schedule. Being organized helps you stay on track. I used to keep my notes in a folder and make lists of new words, crossing each one off as I learned them. This kept me focused and motivated. So, Stay organized. It makes all the difference. Now, an essential tip: be consistent. Try to study a little every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Consistency is the key to success. The more you practice, the better you get. I turned English into a daily habit. Some days I studied for hours, others for just a few minutes, but I made a point of practicing every day. This regularity helped me a lot to progress. So, be constant. This will help you achieve your goals. And lastly, be kind to yourself. Learning a new language is not easy, and there will be days when it seems more difficult. But remember, every little step counts. Respect your pace, value your progress, and keep walking. You will get there. On difficult days, be kind to yourself. It's normal to feel frustrated, but remember that you are doing your best. Keep trying, and don't worry so much. I also had days where I felt frustrated, but I learned to be more understanding of myself. I always reminded myself that making mistakes was part of the learning process, and that was what mattered. Being kind to yourself will help you maintain a positive attitude and move forward. A super useful tip is to use flashcards. They are a great tool for learning new words. Write the word on one side and the meaning on the other. Then review them frequently. It's a simple and fun way to memorize words. When I was learning, I took my flashcards everywhere. Whenever I had a few free minutes, I reviewed the content. That's how I learned a lot of new words. So try using flashcards. They really help. Another important strategy is to immerse yourself in English. This means using the language as much as possible in your everyday life. Think in English, speak in English, and write in English. The more you use the language, the more natural it will become. I tried to immerse myself in English as much as possible. Whenever possible, I thought in English and tried to include the language in my daily activities. This immersion made a huge difference in my learning, and it can do so in yours too. I used to speak to myself in English and also wrote in the language. This immersion helped me feel more comfortable with the language. So, immerse yourself in English whenever you can. This will speed up your learning and make the process more natural. Another important tip is to be curious. Curiosity is a great motivator. When you are curious, you want to learn more, ask questions, explore new things, and are always willing to discover something different. When I was learning English, I wanted to know the meaning of each word and asked a lot of questions. This curiosity kept me motivated and made learning exciting. So be curious. It will help you learn even more. It's also important to review your goals from time to time. As you progress, your goals may change. Maybe you've already achieved a goal and need a new one, or maybe your goal has become too easy or too difficult. Reviewing your goals helps you stay focused. I used to review my goals every month. Sometimes I expanded my goals. Other times, it made them simpler. This habit helped me stay on the right path. So, don't forget to review your goals regularly to keep making progress. Also, take advantage of online resources. There are many websites, apps, and videos that can help you learn English. They offer classes, quizzes, and games that make learning more fun and effective. When I was learning, I used these resources a lot. I watched videos, took quizzes, and played educational games. This made learning more interactive and lighter. So explore online resources. They are valuable tools. Finally, try to learn about the culture of English speakers. Language and culture are deeply connected. When you learn about the culture, you understand the language better. You discover how people think, communicate, and the context behind their words. This will help you connect more with the language and understand it more completely. Learning about the culture of English speakers is an incredible way to better understand the language. I loved discovering more about the holidays, traditions, and even the food. This made learning much more interesting and engaging. So, explore the culture. This will help you understand how people use words in everyday life and connect more deeply with the language. Another essential tip is to stay motivated. Learning a new language may seem slow or difficult at times, But motivation is what keeps you on track. Find out what motivates you. It could be a reward, a goal, or even a friend who encourages you. I kept myself motivated by creating small rewards for myself. Each time I reached a goal, I gifted myself with something, and that made me excited to keep learning. Find what motivates you, and use that to stay focused. It is also essential to be patient with yourself. Learning a new language takes time, and it's okay if you don't understand everything right away. Be patient, and give yourself the time you need to learn. There were times when I felt like I wasn't progressing fast enough, but I reminded myself to be patient. I knew that, with time, I would get better. So, be kind to yourself, and remember that each step brings you closer to your goal. Finally, try listening to different accents. English is spoken in many countries, and each one has their own way of speaking. This not only enriches your learning, but also prepares you to understand the language in different contexts. Diversifying your exposure to accents is an excellent way to expand your skills. Hearing different accents is a great way to improve your understanding of English. Each country has its own way of speaking, and exposing yourself to these variations helps you understand the language better. I used to listen to people from different countries like the UK, US, Australia, and others. This helped me understand the different ways of speaking English. So, whenever you can, listen to different accents. This will enrich your learning. Another important tip is to use English in real situations. If you travel, try to speak English. If you find someone who speaks the language, talk to them. Real-life practice is extremely valuable. When I traveled, I took the opportunity to use my English, even if it was just a few words. This practice helped me a lot to gain confidence. So, whenever an opportunity arises, use English in everyday situations. Also, be open to learning new things. English is always evolving, with new words and expressions emerging all the time. Being receptive to these changes makes learning more interesting and dynamic. During my journey, I learned many new things, words, expressions, and even different ways of communicating. This openness to new things helped me grow a lot in the language. So, keep an open mind and enjoy the new things English has to offer. This will make the process more fun and rewarding. Keep your learning journey lively. Don't be afraid to create your own sentences when you learn a new word. Doing this helps you understand how to use the word in different ways. I used to create my own sentences for each word I learned, and that helped me stick to them better. Sometimes I invented funny or even silly phrases, which made learning much more fun. So, try it. Creating your own phrases is an excellent way to practice. Another amazing tip is to watch TV shows in English. They are fun and full of useful content for learning. In addition to improving your listening, you learn expressions, pronunciation, and even the way people use English in their everyday lives. So, find a series or program that you like and start watching. It's a relaxed and effective way to learn. Watching TV shows in English is a great way to learn the language in a practical and fun way. These programs show you how people really talk in everyday life and help you understand real-life situations. Plus, they are very engaging. I watched a lot of English programs while learning and loved hearing how people talked. I learned several new words and expressions this way. So, try watching series and programs in English. It's a light and effective way to learn. Another important tip is to try new things. Maybe you've never listened to podcasts in English or written a story in the language. But trying different things is a great way to grow as a learner. I challenged myself in many ways when I was learning. I listened to podcasts, wrote stories, and even tried acting in English. These different experiences helped me learn in different ways. So don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Trying new things will make your learning journey more interesting and productive. It's normal to feel overwhelmed sometimes, but focusing on one thing at a time makes everything easier. Choose one focus per day. For example, today you can focus on learning new words, and tomorrow on practicing speaking. I used to divide my learning like this. On some days I would dedicate myself to reading, and on others I would dedicate myself to speaking. This helped me not get overwhelmed and move at my own pace. Remember, one step at a time makes learning smoother. Finally, connect what you learn with your life. If you learn a new word, think about how to use it in your everyday life. This makes learning more meaningful and easier to remember. For example, when I learned the word sunny, I started using it to describe the weather where I lived. This connection made learning more personal and fun. So, whenever possible, relate what you learn to your routine. This will make the process much more engaging. Believe in yourself and your ability to learn. Trust is essential in this process. When you believe you can do something, the chances of achieving it increase a lot. Even when I made mistakes, I maintained the confidence that I could improve. This attitude helped me move forward and achieve my goals. So be confident. You are capable of learning and evolving. Enjoy the small achievements along the way. Every new word you learn or phrase you manage to form is a success. Celebrate these moments and feel proud of yourself, because each step takes you closer to your goal. I rejoiced in each new word I learned, and these small victories kept me motivated. Find joy in your achievements. They are proof that you are making progress. Another valuable tip is to listen to the radio in English. Even if you don't understand everything at first, this practice helps your ears get used to the language. You learn how words are pronounced and how sentences are structured. When I started listening to the radio in English, it was difficult to understand, but over time it became easier. This practice has greatly improved my listening skills. Try listening to the radio in English. It's a great way to practice. Why not think of learning as an adventure? Each new word is like a treasure you discover, and each new phrase is a path you explore. When you face learning this way, it becomes more exciting. I saw my learning journey as a great adventure. Every day, I was excited by the idea of finding new treasures. Adopting this mindset has made everything more fun. Think about learning as an adventure, and you will feel motivated every day. Finally, enjoy the technology to help your learning. There are many available apps that offer lessons, quizzes, and games to learn English. These apps make learning more interactive and accessible. Use them as tools to complement your studies. Technology can be a great ally on your journey. Learning apps are a fun way to study. Many of them offer games, quizzes, and lessons that make the process interactive and engaging. When I was learning, I used several of these apps, and they made the learning look like a game. This kept me motivated and excited to learn more. Try using learning apps. They are amazing and fun tools. Also remember that it is totally normal to take breaks. Learning can be tiring, and rest is part of the process. If you feel exhausted, take time to do something you like and get back to renewed energy learning. I used to take breaks whenever I needed. He rested, did something fun, and then go back to studies with full focus. These breaks helped me maintain balance and productivity, so don't forget to rest when necessary. Another powerful tip is to use visual resources. Images, videos, and charts are excellent for helping to understand and remember better. These materials make learning more engaging and dynamic. I used a lot of visual resources when I was learning. The images helped me memorize words, while the videos showed me how to use them. Viewing the content has made the process more interesting and effective. Include visual resources in your routine. They are a great help. And please don't be afraid to start over if you need to. Sometimes the content may seem difficult, and back to the basics is the best decision. Restart helps build a solid base. There were times when I had to go back to the beginning and review what I had already learned. This gave me more clarity and reinforced my understanding. So, if necessary, start again. It is part of learning and will only help you improve. Finally, establish rewards for yourself. Having something to wait when reaching a goal is very motivating. It can be a chocolate bar, watch your favorite movie, or anything that makes you happy. I rewarded myself all the time when I reached my goals, and it made learning lighter and more fun. Set your own rewards. They will make your journey much more exciting and satisfactory. Establishing rewards is a great way to maintain motivation. It can be simple, such as watching your favorite program, doing fun activity, or even enjoying a candy. These small rewards make learning more enjoyable. I did this during my learning journey, and every reward made me even more excited to continue. So choose your rewards. They make the process lighter and more exciting. Curiosity is also a powerful ally. Always being looking for new things to learn maintains exciting and discovered learning. During my journey, I remained curious and always wanted to learn more. This constant curiosity was what kept me motivated. Be curious. This attitude makes your learning journey more engaging and full of surprises. Another tip is to listen to podcasts in English. They are excellent for practicing their listening ability and expanding their vocabulary. Best of all, there are podcasts about virtually every topic, so choose something that interests you and listen regularly. I listened to many podcasts in English, and, besides improving my auditory understanding, they were relaxing and fun. Try it. Podcasts are an amazing tool for learning lightly and efficiently. Finally, use English in different ways. Speak, write, read, and listen. The more you diversify the use of the language, the better you get. During my journey, I tried to use English in every way possible. I was talking to friends, wrote in my diary, read books, and listened to stories. This diverse approach helped me master the language more completely. So, vary your practices. This will make you more confident and versatile in English. Use English in every possible way. This helps you improve faster and become a more complete apprentice. Try incorporating the language into various everyday activities. This makes all the difference in your progress. Another valuable tip is to write down everything you learn. Whenever you discover something new, write. Do not only help in memorization, but also creates valuable material for review. Returning to your notes after a while is a great way to reinforce learning. Arriving at the end of this journey, I want to leave a reflection. Learning English is like planting a garden. Every word you learn is like a seed, and every phrase you make is like a flower blooming. With patience, care, and dedication, your garden will grow full of vibrant colors and charming perfumes. So let's continue to water this garden with curiosity, enthusiasm, and love. The beauty of learning is not just about reaching destination, but in taking advantage of every step of this journey. Remember, every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. Celebrate every moment and never lose the joy of learning. Now, I want to know about you. What are your favorite tips for learning English? How do you keep yourself motivated? Share your ideas, stories, and experiences in the comments. Let's inspire each other and grow together on this amazing journey of learning. Thank you for being part of this beautiful walk. Keep learning, growing, and shining. The journey is just beginning.